I'm Jay, and this is Dave, and we're back for another Dave and Jay show. And you know, Dave, one of the things that we've often talked about between the two of us, and it's high time that we started talking with our audience about it, is this whole business that Justin Trudeau said at the time of the last election when he was finally elected, and he said, you know what, Canada's back. You know, what's that about? Canada's back. And he was referring to the international stage. And so one of the first things he did is he got rid of the old DFAIT, the Department of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, as a ministry, and he created this new ministry, Global Affairs. You know, because he believes, as you have always said, he's a globalist.
He's a globalist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
So what happens? We can run down a shopping list of countries that he is angered, he's embarrassed, and he's embarrassed Canada while doing it.
Exactly right, Jay. And I think the word embarrassed is a key one. He embarrassed us at home, but I think he also embarrassed Canada internationally. And of course, I know there's a list, as Jay said, but it's probably going to start with Bollywood, right?
Has to, yeah.
Start with, as Jay loves to call him, Mr. Dress Up, because that's exactly what it was. It was an embarrassing display of some kind of cultural begging. I don't know what it was. Even the Indians who were over there were embarrassed by the guy.
Well, even they said they don't dress like that.
No.
Except for maybe a special occasion, for a traditional wedding or something, they don't go around dressed like that. You know, so what was that about? So, and then the next thing was that now infamous tweet by the Foreign Affairs Minister, you know, where she wanted to chastise Saudi Arabia about their human rights. And all of us agree with what she was saying, but is it the right way to conduct diplomacy via a tweet? Wouldn't you rather, when you were over in that country or when they're here, sit down with them and in a mature adult way, sit down and discuss and try to get them to address some of their human rights abuses rather than sending out a tweet like you're, a parent chastising a child?
Well, and look at the repercussions of that. Clearly, that was an amateur move. They didn't have any international credibility to go and meet these people face to face. Sometimes, you know, when the Bollywood thing was going on, did Trudeau even have a full-scale face-to-face meeting with Prime Minister Modi in India? No. I mean, compare that to Stephen Harper in the Conservative government. The 10 years of his tenure, Canada had a terrific international reputation, including the relationship with India, which was very businesslike, very respectful going forward. Trudeau, I think, terribly damaged that.
And if we continue down the list, I mean, other than our key relationship with the United States of America, one of our other key trading partners, and increasingly so, is China. And what has happened on that file? It's been one embarrassment after another. And now we're into this ongoing mess, it seems, where China is actually impacting upon citizens, Canadian citizens that happen to travel to China, whether it's for tourism or business.
And it's tied up in a lot of geopolitics. Of course, the relationship with the United States plays into that. But our relationship with the United States is awful. It's not on any kind of par. I think Trudeau has totally mishandled the relationship with Trump. And Trump, of course, is fighting with China. So it drags us into this thing. Inadvertently, we got dragged in. An experienced international negotiator would not have got that problem. And that's what happened with us. I go back to our relationship with the G7 and with NATO under the Harper government. Very, very good, very strong, great mutual respect. Again, I think that's gone.
Well, and I would use the term when we're talking about the relationships that Stephen Harper built with so many of our international partners and trading partners, was mature and professional. And, you know, I was part of Stephen Harper's government. I was proud to have sat at the cabinet table at that time. And, you know, I was proud of the job that he did. I always had faith that when he traveled internationally, that we were going to be well represented. And you saw that in key G20, G7 meetings where he really took a leadership role.
And I want to tell you, even after now, in his private life, he's continuing those strong international relationships with these world leaders, even today. Exactly. So that's the legacy of the kind of approach, Jay, you said, a professional approach. I want to give one of my broadcast colleagues a little bit of credit. Don Martin at CTV. Don Martin used to be at the Calgary Herald back in the day. Now he's the guy at CTV. He said about this, about the Bollywood mess and the Trudeau, Canada is back on the world stage. He said, if this is Trudeau putting Canada back on the world stage, we should get off.